Hello, my name is LaJuan Morant.
When were you born?
I'm 1972.
And when did you move to Greenleaf?
I moved to Greenleaf 2 years ago.
Okay.
Okay.
Where were you living prior to that?
Prior to that, I was a native of DC. So I didn't grow up in the Southwest neighborhood. I grew up in Northeast, which changed to Southeast, and then I changed to Northwest because I graduated Northwest. Well, I graduated high school Northwest, which is the high school for this area, but maybe soon to change, which was Wilson High School.
Oh, okay. You went to Wilson?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. And where'd you go prior to that? Where'd you go to school?
I went to Francis Junior High School before they became a middle school.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Minor Elementary School
Okay.
before they rebuilt it and so forth.
And are you currently working?
Yeah, I work part-time, but I'm not a full-time employee because I have 8 children.
Mm-hmm.
So one is grown, but the rest there's middle school, transitioning to high school, basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you've only been here for a few years, so where were your parents from?
My mom's Jim from North Carolina. My dad never really was in my life, so he's around, but I really don't have a relationship with him. So it was basically my mom.
Okay. And when you first arrived to Greenleaf, what were your impressions?
Whoa, like this is something I gotta deal with. I mean, it's a part of life because everybody background that may live here or move throughout here or still currently living here may have not subdued the things that I've already been through. Some of them may have lived here all their life and that's all they know. And see, I lived in a variety of areas, and I never lived in what you would call a low poverty stricken area. All the areas I ever lived in. This is like a different challenge for me and my children. So we still growing day by day, trying to, acknowledge that this is home now, and this is some things you might not want to tolerate, but you just have to hold on, count to 10 sometimes, and try not to just be cordial and try not to be in the middle of things that really shouldn't be, that you shouldn't be involved, that you know better. That's my thing. That's my motto. If it's none of your business, stay out of it. Mm-hmm. Don't make comments. Don't, and if you already know how society is, it doesn't have to be your neighborhood. It just be in general. You know what is control. If you can't control yourself, then you know that you need to take a step forward. You need to look in the mirror.
And what can you be specific maybe about some of the things that you're referring to that you didn't particularly care for?
As far as being a new neighbor of the neighborhood?
Well, just in the area. I mean, I asked you what your first impressions were.
Well, I lived here in the neighborhood, but not on Greenleaf property. Mm-hmm. My oldest daughter, which was my first daughter, we lived on 240 M Street, which is down the street, and that's the condominiums. So that's why I said it's a big change from coming from a condo house or just outside of the neighborhood period and living in public housing. Mm-hmm. I never experienced public housing as a youngster, and nor have my kids since we moved into Greenleaf. So it's a change for them. They're not used to hearing violence, seeing violence, the cursing. What's some of the some of the basic things, the loudness. They're used to quiet, basically suburb life. They're accustomed to that more so than living in project life. So.
Are there any positives to living in this community?
Yeah, it is, because like I just stated a few moments ago, if you mind your business, a lot of aggravation or annoyance won't bother you. Some of your neighbors, they know more about you than you think they know. Mm-hmm. They know more about you. They know who come in your home. They know what's the word I want to say? Like I gave you a description of how many members I have in my home.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the female to male, they can tell you, you know, and they be like, oh, as one gentleman, he works at the Southwest Family Home. I forget his name, but he speaks to me every day when he sees me. And he told me, yeah, you live in that house, you're the new one, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You think that you not, what is it, out of the light? Yeah, you're in the light more than what you think you know.
Is there a sense of community here?
Yeah, it is. It's some people that are close knit. You have some that's just you have your elder tight knit. You have your middle class, middle age, and then you have your elder, and then you have your youngster, and then so on that grew up because they know how to adapt. See, with me, if I would have came into the neighborhood and felt as though threatened, I probably wouldn't even be sitting in here talking to you now.
So you have a sense of belonging here. I mean,
because I know some people remember me from high school that I didn't even know that acknowledged me through high school because I was kind of quiet. You know, I don't. It's not that I stay to myself. It's just I'm out of my business and I go do my responsibilities. Asking me to do is take care of my kids, make sure they are well provided for, and so on.
What are your views about the surrounding neighborhood, not Greenleaf, but the areas surrounding? Is there a sense of community, divisions, people united? What are your views there?
It's a little bit of a separation because just because we have a lot of new being built among us, meaning not just Greenleaf property itself, you got the senior building, and then you got the 203 building, then you got James Creek on the other side, and a part of Safax Gardens housing developments too. So you have all of that, and then you have the new being built, meaning you have the baseball stadium already, you have new things growing, restaurants, property growing up towards Navy Yard, and now you're going to have more new things up at the down the street at the Wharf. You have a brand new playhouse, which is the Arena Stage. You have a brand new Safeway. You have a new grocery store. Harris Teeter is going to open up soon. And from, I'm not even sure if any of the neighbors know that a movie theater is coming here soon. You know, just because you see buildings up and growing, mean apartment buildings, better style, newness coming along. My thing is, do my neighbors know? Do they know? Do they know that eventually our 4, 3, 5, I don't think we have 6 bedrooms here, but the space that we have, and it's not much, but do we know it's all may disappear one day? I'm not saying it will because I don't know, but it could. And less than 2-3 years from now, it could. It could.
And how is that? How does the new development threaten this community?
The housing market itself. A lot of us, like myself, I have the number of children I have. In the space that they're making for homes, it won't accommodate me. It won't accommodate me at all. As far as income-wise, it won't accommodate me either. It's going to be, it's not going to be, it's going to double the expense about next 2 years. It's already expensive now. It's going to double. For the research, these houses that we live in, been on this property since 1958. As far as the expenses and living from public housing versus to market rate, we're gonna suffer. You know, if we, like, I'm a resident council member, I'm the secretary for Greenleaf, and if we can have our community come out, meaning my neighbors that want to be here at Greenleaf and to stay because they know that this is up and coming, and which it is. You have your Capitol Hill, you have your Eastern Market. Between one of them two, Southwest may become number 1 or number 2 to being a popular spot to live in the Washington, D.C. area. Not sure. I'm not saying it will, but we could. We could, because we have the stadium already. We're supposed to get a soccer stadium, and then you have the Fisherman's Wharf down the street, and you have the arena stage. You're walking distance from all the local museums. As far as the White House, if you on prime property. You right here. You have the Metro. You have 2 access to Metro. You have 3 to 4 buses besides the 2 rush hour buses that run through LaFont Plaza. You have too many local ways to get in and out. And then you have the Martin Luther King Memorial. You can walk down there. You have the cherry blossoms. You can walk down there. Mm-hmm. You can walk to the monument. You have all this right here. And to not know from, if you had a choice, like sample, I've put my name on the list, and I say, okay, they give you a few choices because you was willing to accept to moving into public housing. You had a choice from living in all the other public housing locations that they had available to you and your family. You picked Southwest. It's a good choice. It's a good choice because you're not even picturing. Not only that they are redesigning the neighborhood, mm-hmm. Yes, it's going to be a change. It's going to be hard for the neighbors to accept change. That's a big issue, I think, that's in our neighborhood. Mm-hmm. A lot of the older, some of the middle, the young, we move and shake every day. That's just, it's a part of growing up to us. Mm-hmm. But it has gotten so expensive for certain things for the young versus to when the older was coming along. So, it's changing. It's changing fast. It's not changing slowly. Mm-hmm. Because technically, if you look at it from where we're sitting right now, there's nowhere else to dig. But you have that open area park across the street from the library and where we're sitting now. Where else is to dig? Because they're already putting the baseball stadium, they already got the wharf, there's nowhere else to dig. They're not going to tear down any apartment buildings anytime soon. So if anything else to be dug, it probably would be something in public housing.
Yeah, so that leads to the next question. How does it make you feel to know that the government wants to demolish this?
Painful. It's painful. Like I said, the hourly rate for some of us that do have jobs and live here, some of us are not receiving time. Some of us only survive off our food stamps and then the part-time jobs that we do uphold for those who are working. And we have to have medical for our children or our grandparents or the elderly that we are taking care of in our home. It's painful. It really is, because your market rent in this area for a regular 1 or 2 bedroom apartment could be like $2,000 a month at least, no more than $1,130 at the most, and that's for like a 1 bedroom. That's not even a 2 bedroom.
Well, what do you think that can be done about that? What can residents do to push back and save their community?
We need to be able to have a voice for ourselves. Just like I'm sitting here having an interview, come out and talk. It's not about somebody doing video of you, taking pictures of you, and you may or may not be on the wanted list. It's not about that. It's about, okay, you might be wanted, but your mother live here, your aunt live here. What about their shelter? You come to visit, aren't you? You want a place to stay, and when something's being built, like we have the new playground, you don't want your neighbors keep talking about, yeah, those people over there, those people. Who are those people? We're the same as you. It doesn't matter what color we are. We live here too. Not all of us, because you thinking that we don't pay rent. We pay rent. Mm-hmm. We may not pay as much as you do, but we pay rent in public housing.
So you're getting at the divisions and at how people view people, lower income people or people of color. that live in the surrounding areas.
Always the view that they always put out there, which is a part of the media, which is kind of social, however you want to take it. A lot of the neighbors or people that they don't want to be interviewed, because once we put our heart and soul of saying a comment, it doesn't matter what it is. Sometimes the comment is a little bit overwhelming, but some of it, if you listen to it, we're trying to make a point. Mm-hmm. It's like we need help. Say, what's the word I want to say? At one time, this area was a hot spot. It's still a few shootings, but not enough murders, so we're not considered a hot spot anymore. Basically, we kind of that bothers some of the people. It bothers. They may not voice it, but it bothers some of the people. Because when you put us out there on the news, or you read about the neighborhood because somebody got robbed or whatever. Just so last night, I was just up the street by Navy Yard, where the new houses are off of 3rd and 4th Street, southeast. Seen a man and a lady taking a walk, and I couldn't believe what I saw in his back pocket, and she was holding in her hand a hammer. I didn't say nothing. They looked back at me, trying to conceal it, but that's what I seen. And it hurt me to my heart that I was on my way walking home to Southwest. So my thing is, if you fear the neighborhood, then why don't you move in?